Good afternoon. My name is Nuri Otis, and I'm the CEO and founder of txtsmarter. With me to my right is Sabine Zimmelhansel, who probably knows more about compliance than anybody I've ever met. I'm here to share txtsmarter with you. txtsmarter is a complete compliance solution addressing all of your messaging needs. A very quick question. How many of you feel that you have a complete messaging solution that covers you when you need it? Meaning, when an auditor comes in, are you safe? Underneath here is all that you need to be fully compliant. Here's the tricky part. I did it without knocking it over. We've all read the news that financial regulators require firms to take control of their data, but yet companies are in the news every day. One of the world's 5 largest banks today announced that they were charged $250 million by a regulator. You may have seen this article recently. When I read this, I laughed because it says that he was able to access all of the data that existed on his coworker's phone. The reason I laughed is that this technology didn't exist 7 years ago. This technology didn't exist until we invented it in 2019. So unless he took a screenshot of every message, what is stated in this article is categorically untrue. How would you feel about 1,000 people at Facebook reading all of your employees' messages, yet you can't access it? But we can help you with that. We can actually do it for you, and the only people that will have access to that information of all of your employees' messages is you. It does not exist anywhere else. So all that you need is your phone and txtsmarter to avoid becoming a headline. Let me show you how you can use txtsmarter to get a 360-degree view of all of your employees' data. We all know that emails and phone calls have been backed up for decades. Yet most of you are probably familiar that regulators now include messaging in that same bucket. Yet there isn't the technology to do it, unless you talk to us, that is. txtsmarter is a communications surveillance solution for messaging. We cover social platforms. We capture, encrypt, and archive previously inaccessible data for compliance purposes. And for financial industries, this is highly necessary. txtsmarter is the only company, and when I say only, I wish I could put that up in like Hollywood sign. Only. No other company can give you access to iMessage, which are 6 trillion messages a day. We also do WeChat. We also do WhatsApp. We also do a bunch of them. I won't bore you with it, but you need this. It's important because soon our friends who are regulators are going to come and they're going to ask you for it. And if you have txtsmarter, you'll be able to provide everything necessary to address the needs. Go ahead.
txtsmarter captures everything that somebody is sending. We cover multiple different platforms. So this is the dashboard that I just pulled up from a company. You can source what messages they have. This company actually subscribed to email, SMS, WhatsApp, and iMessage. Let me just pull up one of the iMessage. One of the biggest things that is happening is a lot of conversations, this is an actual conversation that happened, is going on in the background, right? You don't have access to the data because telephones walk off the job. People replace them every 2 years or so, and then if the regulators or auditors are coming, your messages are not there. txtsmarter captures everything from emojis to voice texting to literally everything that you need that you do on your normal everyday stuff. Stuff is a good word. To be compliant, you need all the part of the conversation. Now, let me show you something. Let's say your compliance officer right now is looking and has a person named Edward under investigation. What they would do is they would go into their platform, they would do a quick search for that, and then every single trail that Edward and any conversation that Edward had with anybody within the company would show up. Now they have every single piece, they have a 360 view, and it's all permission-based. Very, very quickly, there's no app to install, there is no learning curve, there's no change in user behavior because txtsmarter works in the background. As long as people sign up with it, they would receive an email or a text message, and this company here chooses those 4 platforms. The employee would simply go sign in with it, and at that moment, the company is now protected because it is compliant, because it keeps all the conversations. Once activated, again, no user activation necessary, and we are compliant with all the rules and regulations worldwide, including all the privacy regulations and GDPR.
As a compliance officer, you need the ability to reconstruct all conversations, all types of communications, whether it be WhatsApp, iMessage, email, phone calls. If you don't have everything, you're not fully prepared. We provide you those tools, and everything falls under a single lens. So imagine that you're looking through all of the data through a scanning electron microscope. At txtsmarter, you get all conversations in one location, plus you get the tools to identify, investigate all matters regarding compliance, which protects you from significant sanctions. A compliance officer at one of the world's 5 largest banks said to us recently that messaging surveillance is a train coming down the track. And their perspective was you could either get hit by it or you could get on the train. And I know which one I prefer. If you want to save your company a lot of money in legal costs, in risk issues, in reputational issues, come and see us downstairs. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to introduce ourselves to you. Thank you for hearing us out, and we're really excited to be back in New York. Have a wonderful afternoon.